Good afternoon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tumi Tladi, and let's get the party started, shall we? I'm still in the midst of this series on Web API, and this is what we have identified to be the main topics to cover. So I'm done with the basics, like the overview of Web API. Please watch the previous videos, and then here I started looking at the core features of this system, particularly for Web API. So in our previous video we did cover upload docs based on uploads feature, and now we're gonna do voice messages feature, and we're gonna look at uploaded audios, and I want to talk about what led to this feature to be introduced in my system. Listen, I do have plenty of videos. I believe this video is video number 81 if I'm not mistaken. Please watch my other previous videos. There's a good content there. The only thing that it's unique about my YouTube channel is that, listen, when it comes to this channel, the only issues that you're gonna see live, and I'm not gonna hide from them, is that Visual Studio tends to become unresponsive sometimes. I don't know why. And then what else? Oh, another thing, when it comes to this application called Visor, I apologize because I'm unable to mirror my device, my physical device that has my actual app to show certain things. But what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna use the screenshots and I'm gonna upload them to my OneDrive, and then I'm gonna show you those screenshots of where I'm at, particularly this voice messages feature. Okay, so please watch my other previous series. I have two series. I believe it's Ocean Explorer and then Version Control series, and now I'm in the midst of Web API series. The next series is gonna be Xamarin. I'm gonna start this series on Monday. Let's do this because I'm excited. Xamarin series, and we'll talk about this on Monday. Right now I'm gonna do this voice messages, and after this I'm gonna do upload audios. This video should be relatively short, and then lastly I'm gonna do notifications. So let's get down to business of voice messages. We definitely need the browser, but not now. So let's go to Visual Studio. I hope it's not going to become unresponsive. So let's quickly do this. I'm also going to be showing the .NET Core version of my Web API. Currently, this project, just to remind you, is 2-in-1. It's both MVC and Web API. And now I'm going to focus on the Web API, and then we're going to look at the voice messages feature. And this 2-in-1 project is .NET Framework. I also have .NET Core, so let's give this guy a couple of seconds before it becomes unresponsive. Okay. I hope by towards the end of this video, you're gonna find this material on this video to be helpful. If that's the case, please like the video, give the thumbs up, leave the comment if you have any. Most importantly, subscribe so you can click on the notification bell to be notified when I drop videos, because I'm still busy editing previous videos that I have recorded. And Monday I'm gonna upload all of them, and then Monday I'm gonna start a new series on Xamarin. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, this feature, it's a bit chaotic, so let me close this folder, and I'm gonna pin this as I usually do. And then still is busy behind the scenes. So we're gonna need access to this class called ApplicationDB Context. So let's go and get it. Identity, and then ApplicationDB Context class. I hope Visual Studio, it really is a work right now, because I was still busy doing something and then it forced me to shut it down because it became unresponsive. So let's give it a couple of seconds. Did I click? Come on. There we go. I'll talk about this class, what it does, and then we need to focus on voice messages. And then we need to go into this voice messages. It's an entity data model class. So let's go to tables, voice messages. There we go. And we'll talk about this guy. And then what do we need? from the controller. I have 4 endpoints, like 4 endpoints. Let's see how many we can cover. We need this class API routes v1, so let's go to contracts, web API v1, API routes for v1. Give it a couple of seconds. There we go. And then we're gonna focus on this static class called voice messages. I'll come back to it. And then we need, for this endpoint, we need to go to get all voice messages for customer response. So it's gonna go to response, voice messages. We need the customer. There we go. Give it a second. There we go. And then we're gonna need obviously this one, which is the client. Couple of seconds. There we go. And then inside this endpoint, why is there no automapper here? That's a very interesting question. Okay, seems like we don't need anything there. Seems like there's no support for automapper, and then I'm mad at myself. I don't know why. And then we need the request post voice message customer request. So now we're gonna go to requests, voice messages. So we need for the customer. There we go. And then we also want to need the validator, but we also need this client request. And then we are done with the contract. So let's go to validators to look for voice messages for both of them, because we're going to need them. Give it a couple of seconds. There we go. I think this is all we need. Let's see inside the body. Okay. Then this one. Okay, so let's get the party started. Now, for voice messages, this feature, let me give you the high level overview before I show the system on the browser using Firefox. So the idea is that, listen, traditionally you would go with your memory stick, or you have your document on your phone. Say you want to make a printout, you know, and you go physically to an internet cafe or internet store, and then you give them your stick, or you plug in the USB cable, and then you ask them, hey, I need this document to be printed out, black and white or color, how many pages, and so forth, if it's going to be double-sided or not. Okay. The issue with my system is that I had to think, what if someone has sent the request through, and then to Frank, we'll see Frank in a second, and then Frank processed that request, and then he now sits with a physical document from, let's say, Paul, and Paul is he hasn't shown up, you know, to pick up those documents. So the idea was a voice message. Frank can now leave Paul a voice message to say, listen, come and get your contact. But also Paul can call, Frank can call Paul if Paul has left his phone number, and we're about to see that. But what if there's no phone number to call and there's no email address? So the last result is going to be voice message. Obviously, I'm going to be monitoring this as a demonstrator. So application DB context. The guy that has a legal right, the only guy that talks to a database. So this application DB context, and then we have this property called voice messages of type DB set, passing in that entity data model. So this is the guy that has the legal right to talk to the table called the voice messages. So whenever you see application DB context dot voice messages, just know this is the class responsible for that. And then we need to go to that entity data model. This is the class that creates the actual table inside my database SQL Server. So voice messages, we have the properties, all of them are marked with required attribute. This is the best practices. And then the first property, voice message ID, is marked with the key attribute, meaning that now this guy is a primary key. and then I have a caption. So caption will be come and pick up. That will be caption. And then we have the audio part where the actual voice message is being stored, and then we have when was it created, who is the recipient. It can either be the customer or the client, and I'll talk about that, and then for which business, and then for which document. So these two are foreign keys, and then they're accompanied by their navigation properties for business, and then for which document. Okay, so this is the entity data model. It's a critical class, and then obviously using the constructor, I initialize the voice message to have a unique GUID, and then when was it created, it should take the system datetime now. So we are done with the voice message. So we are done with this guy. Okay, and by the way, as a developer, I use comments to keep my system clean and organized. And by the way, you're gonna see a very funny thing when it comes to these comments. I'll talk about them in a second. These comments and the response types, and then the order of the comments and response types. When it comes to this project, they are messed up. That's why I wanted to fix it. You can see with the change here. But when it comes to .NET Core Web API project, I fixed them, like the order of the comments and the responses that gets to be produced, you know, and then the order of what's happening within each endpoint. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so when it comes to endpoints, I have 4 endpoints. The very first one, these are the comments particularly for Swagger, for documentation purposes. So the main intent for this endpoint is to get all the voice messages from the client to the customer from the system, or the ones are meant for the customer for the customer from the client on the system, right? Cool. Don't mind the English there, it's crazy. Then there's a possibility that we can, you know, return for where it notifies that no voice messages were found on the system to show results. Okay, so the attribute is HTTP GET. Please watch my other previous videos where I talked about HTTP verbs or methods. In this case, it's GET. And then the route, now we're gonna go to this API route v1 to take a look at what's on the class. So this class, it has static classes, you know, in this case voice messages, and it has a constant variables of type string where we get all voice messages for customer. We're getting all, not just one, for customers from the client to the customer from the client to the customer from the client. I think it's time that I show what I'm talking about. Let's launch Firefox. And then while Firefox is launching, and then I'm just gonna fire this 2-in-1 project, which is .NET Framework. And then I'm just gonna use some images to simulate and show what I mean about customer and client. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Have you subscribed yet? I hope you have been patient with me. Okay, because I can promise you at the end of this video, you're gonna love what you know what I intend to expose you to. So this gentleman, he is my client. This guy, his name is Frank. I'm just simulating. I don't know this guy's name. This guy is Frank's either the customer, a regular customer, or the first-time visitor. So a visitor or a customer. But this guy is a business or store owner. He's my client. So the request primarily for this feature, the way I design it, is gonna move from this guy Frank contacting this guy Paul. I'm gonna give him Paul, you know. So we're about to see that. So from the client to the customer, meaning that I should focus on. Let me see. I should focus on this one. From the client, yes, to the customer. Yes, I should focus on this one, but I'm not going to cover this one because this one's for the client. I haven't developed this on a mobile application yet. Yes, I haven't developed this one. Okay, and then this is a customer posting. yes, to the client. Recipient is the client, yes, but I'm not going to focus on this one of the client because the functionality is not yet implemented. Or maybe I'll come back to do a follow-up video on this part, because I don't want to waste time on something that the code is there but the actual functionality on the mobile app is not yet complete. Okay, but this is what I'm doing right now, where we are getting all the voice messages, right, from the customer to the client. I believe that's what is the intent. Stay with me, okay, because I see this is confusing. From the customer to the client. This is from the customer to the client. That's how it's supposed to be. Because we are posting to say you are the recipient, it knows, and then we might simulate this. Okay, cool. So let me go back to API. So we're gonna focus on this. So we're gonna this route, it has a base, the version number, and the actual route, right? And then notice this. In order for Paul to receive all the voice messages that are meant for him, he's gonna have to supply what we call app ID, right? So then it will filter to say, based on this app ID, only get the voice message meant for this person based on the app ID. Now this is the sole intent of this app ID, and then I can't wait until I show the app ID how I get to set up on this project, Xamarin. Stay tuned for that series starting on Monday. Okay, so this is get all. So I'm gonna focus on this route and this route. So I'm gonna focus on these two routes. Okay, let's go back. So we have the route, the entire route for this endpoint, and then like I said, I'm not done with what this endpoint produces as the response types, but for now, if everything is well, which is it's going to return 200, what's going to happen is that it's going to return a list of all those voice messages from the customer to the client, and then we're going to use the response. So let's look for the response, get all response. So that means we're not going to focus on this guy. I should close it. We're not going to focus on the validator for the client. Close that one, request for the client, close it. We're going to focus on from the customer to the client. So I want this response. So now to send the data down, because I'm going to show this, to send data down to the Xamarin mobile application or WPF desktop application, this is the guy that's responsible for doing exactly that, right? So we are saying this will be the caption, this will be the location of that the audio path, this will be when it was created, for which business, based on the business number, and then who is the customer reference, and what is the customer reference, right? Cool. So now you know this. Okay, caption, audio path created on business number and customer reference. Shut that guy down. And then public, it needs to be exposed publicly, asynchronous endpoint, and then it's going to return HTTP action result, and then this is the name of the endpoint, obviously, and then we're expecting, you see what, go with app ID. That's what we're expecting. Okay, so now this is going to be the return type. Obviously we need to assign to null. This is I don't know why, like I said, I believe on the first feature version update, I still want to figure out why this should not be null, but or rather why it should be null, but you should start saying it's a null, the return type, especially when if it's a list. And now I'm going to use this using blog to say var application DB context. Listen, I want you to go to this table called voice messages through this property. I'm going to give you the condition, right? Now in there, I want you to use this app ID that comes in. I want you to look for all the voice messages based on the app ID. You will find it on the uploads. This is a navigation property, you know, and then, and if, wait, this is wrong. This is saying the recipient is customer. Why does it say the recipient is customer? Nah, this is wrong. The recipient cannot be for a customer. That means I'm looking at the wrong endpoint. The recipient should be from the customers to the client. Yes. Let me look at this guy. Yes, to the client. I'm sorry, I looked at it the wrong thing. Apologies. So get all the voice messages from the customer to the client. Yes. This guy is a customer. He's a Paul to the client, which is he's my client, which is Frank. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry about that. No, wait. No, from this guy to this guy. Yes, from Frank to Paul. So the recipient should be, yes. Oh, no, I was right. Sorry, no, I was right with that endpoint. The first one, yes, the correct one. Yes. The recipient is a customer. I got confused by this. The recipient is the guy who came to have a document printed or copied. This is the recipient, which is the customer. Sorry, I was correct. And if the recipient, you know, that's a condition in the word law. I'm going to give you the app ID. And if the recipient is a customer, order by, created on, and I'm going to use the select, you know, to build up the response. That's why I don't know why Automapper is not used to solve this. This is a problematic, but this is where all Automapper comes in. But what we're going to do, we're going to say caption is going to be caption is going to go to caption, audio path is going to go to audio path, create on is going to go to create on, business number is going to go to business number, customer reference is going to go to customer reference as a list. So give this to me as a list, right? And then if that list it's now for you could not find anything for you, for whom, for Paul, there's nothing for you, and we're about to see that live. And then other than that, return all of them. I think I should demo this using the screenshots now, this portion, because I feel like it's confusing, but I should do it. Okay. So first I want to show that I'm going to log in as Frank. So Frank has account test 1. I hope you are being patient because this is good stuff. Okay. So this is a account belonging to Frank, test 1. And maybe I should rename this account to be, or maybe I should create a new account or rename this one to be Frank. So Frank owns these businesses, the 11 total, right? One of the business, it's called Karishola Papers. This is the business that he owns, or a store that he owns, right? And now Frank will need to generate access pin in order to communicate to Paul. So currently, as you can see, there is no active access pin for Frank. And please watch this video where we talked about access pins. We looked at the businesses and we looked at access pins in detail, right? Please watch that. And then we did cover uploads in our previous video. So what I want to do, I want to upload a screenshot, because what I wanted to show, let's do this. I want to show live on my physical device. This is a live app. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. I'm launching it. So I want to show you based on screenshots. I'm about to get to this screen in a second. Currently it's on the splash screen. There we go. Physically, I'm gonna show the screenshots. I'm gonna use my OneDrive. Okay, stay with me. I'm gonna click I'm a customer visitor. It's gonna take me to all the businesses in a second. It's still loading. It's checking for my permissions. The permissions were granted. I'm gonna do this live right now. Okay, let me take a screenshot to show the permissions were granted. Share with OneDrive. There we go. And this is where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna open my OneDrive, and then I'm gonna type in this business number called IGHQ. Like I said, I'm sorry I cannot mirror my physical device with my computer because of Visor. My computer cannot handle the graphics that Visor needs. So I'm gonna click this button, search. I'm clicking right now because I did upload a document yesterday and now it was success. I'm here. Wait, I'm on the screen. This is where I'm at, calculate papers. So I'm gonna move now to alerts. So let's move to alerts. Now I'm gonna go to, we'll do notifications later. I'm gonna go to voice messages, and then I'm gonna show that we posted stuff yesterday. Let's first start with that image. See that 26 items, this image is coming. Where is it? I'm gonna be patient and do this. There we go. Here's a screenshot. I just uploaded now. Is there a way we can open the images using the browser? Let me try this. Because this app that's built in Windows 10, it takes too long and it's a crappy type of an app. There we go. So this is a screenshot. You see, time 12:37. Now this was loading, right? So I'm about to take another screenshot. I'm about to delete this one so we can have it clean. Okay, so I'm taking another screenshot right now and I'm about to upload it. Share OneDrive. Authenticated, uploaded. Okay, we'll come back to it. So I meant to say now, yesterday I did upload some documents, so I want to show them live because I do have the reference numbers. So while it's loading, let's see if we don't have. It's gonna show up in a second. 27 items. There we go. Another screenshot. This is faster. So this screenshot shows what I did yesterday. As you can see that the process is still pending for these two requests to calculate papers, right? And then this is AV9BQ 24 Rand. It's exactly what we see here. AV9BQ 24 Rand. That was yesterday when I did the demo on other uploads. So the second one is IGHQ3, and that's exactly what we see here, right? So there's notifications. But I want to click on voice messages now. I'm clicking and then it says, I'm taking another screenshot. I'll show in a second. Share OneDrive. My network connectivity is faster, by the way. It's being uploaded. Okay. So I just want to prove that these are the actual requests. So we're gonna do a demo when I'm gonna send. I'm waiting for. There's a second one. There we go. At least I'm being creative. I mean, you can give me credit. So for this device, based on the app ID, it says "Dear Anonymous, there are currently no voice messages available for you." There's nothing. But do you want to know the truth? There are a lot of voice messages on the system currently. How do I know that? Now let me use a private window for the administrator to log in. So let me put my phone here. identicaldocs.co.za. So far, this whole video session, it's going very well. Everything's responsive. So now I'm gonna log in as the administrator to show you that there are indeed voice messages on the system. So let me go to tasks, and then I'm gonna go to voice messages. There has to be something there. Come on. I just give you a compliment that you are doing a great job. Come on. So this portion that you are seeing right now, it's MVC, of which now this is me, administrator. Okay, there we go. There are 13 in total, but they're not meant for this app ID. That's why, if I minimize administrator, that's why it says there are no voice messages available for you. That's why I said I'm going to click on voice messages, and we're about to change this. Okay, now you understand how this endpoint now works, right? So we need this. Let me go back to Visual Studio. I hope everything. This is the entire endpoint on the basis that the workflow provides a condition to say on this app ID, as soon as I clicked on this voice message tab, it then sent a request to this endpoint, and then it found that, oh, now I couldn't find anything, return 44. So on Xamarin, I handle how to deal with that, but we're about to change that, right? So I'm done with this part of get, and I'm gonna focus on post, right? So we're done with that one. So okay, now when it comes to, let's look at the summary. Add a single voice message from, you can't say from the customer, you should say to the customer. Like I said, I'm gonna fix these comments, they're confusing. So we know it's HTTP post. This is the route we're gonna use, again, that API route, looking at the voice messages static class. And then this time we're gonna focus on post for customer. Post one voice message customer, right? So this is, it doesn't take in anything. So this is what we call the route, right? So I'm gonna close this guy, I'm done with it, so that Visual Studio doesn't decide to hang. So this line is the actual route on this endpoint, and then we know that the response type is void, because after everything said and done, we're not passing anything. But I'm gonna handle stuff like full form, I'm gonna show better requests, I'm gonna handle other stuff. That's why I need to fix this thing. Now the actual endpoint, it's exposable, it's public, asynchronous, returning HTTP action result. This is the name of the endpoint, and then there's the request that comes in, right? So this request is coming in from the client, right? Yes, from okay, from Frank to Paul. Okay, so this is the request. So we need to look at the customer request, and we do have it here. So this is the request from Frank to Paul. Okay, so it's validated, obviously. So we need to know, and I'm gonna show this also. We need to know the caption. We need to know the audio path. We need to know for which business that Frank is gonna send voice message to. Or out of which store or business, and then to whom, using that customer reference number. So this is the request, right? Cool. Notice there are 4 properties and the validator. So let's look at the validator. Now the validator is validating 2 things. The caption, the length should be between 5 to 20 characters using the length method, minimum to max length. And then there's the error message, and then the customer reference number. We're looking at the exact 5 characters, and we'll talk about this exact 5 characters. The reason why is exact 5 characters. If you look at the screenshot, now Frank is going to have to use this as a customer. This is a customer reference number, and then we know this based on what we see here, customer reference number. So he's going to have to type in exactly 5 characters. So this is me validating this incoming request. And then we have the error messages. So let me show those error messages, because I don't like to be lazy. Global variables. Give it a couple of seconds. Everything is going very well so far. So we're gonna go to voice messages. There we go. And it says the caption length should be 5 to 20 characters, and then customer reference length should be 5 characters. So those are the error messages in case that this validator fails on this request. Cool. And then we're going to check the model state if it's not valid. Please pay attention. I'm going to show this when I get to .NET Core version of this project. Okay, so here we have to validate because we have marked the request with some attributes, particularly the request attribute, the required attribute. And then if everything checks well, then we're going to say application DB context. I want you to go now to the uploads. Now we're going to talk to the uploads table. I want you now to go and retrieve first or default a value of a customer reference. So what's coming in, there is a customer reference. So in this case, it should be, come on, I'm going to use a screenshot. It should be AV9BQ, right? So I want you to check if we know that, and it's going to look from this uploads table, and then indeed we do have something like that, which is this this data is coming from uploads table. Cool. And then if you find it, because that's the most important thing, we have to check. If it's not now, skip this part. But if it's now, say you're not found, and then just block it. Don't go further. I feel like this is, we are saving for performance. We're not doing anything else. We are saving. But here's the problem about this code inside this endpoint. It's not inside try and catch block. I don't know why. I still want to fix this. I wasn't in a hurry, but I'm maturing as a developer. Okay, but if we did find that customer reference from the uploads table, we're only looking for a first or default one. And it's asynchronous, so the value is going to be there as an object. And what we're going to do is that we're going to build up now a voice message object to send to the table, right? So this is going to be the caption from the request, the audio path from the request, and then the recipient, it's going to be the client, right? And then for this business, using that business ID, and then for this particular upload, using that upload ID, and then we're going to add two voice messages, and then we're going to save the changes asynchronously, and then that's it. We're going to return OK. I'm done. So then let's demo that. So again, I'm going to use my phone, and then I'm going to go to startup. And then let's use this guy to help us these screenshots. So now I'm here on my phone live. I'm gonna click, I'm a business or store owner, so this is gonna be Frank. So I'm clicking this guy. Unfortunately here we don't have stuff, but let me show you the screenshot that I'm on where I need to be authenticated for using the access pin. So let's do this. Upload to OneDrive, authenticate myself, upload. So it's uploading. In the meantime, we need to go to access pin and generate, because we cannot do this if we are not authenticated. So we are waiting for another image. It's coming. There we go. There we go. So let me show you this image, but I'm going to destroy it in a second. There we go. So this is where I'm at, where I need to type in the business number and access pin, and I need to authenticate myself. So this is what we need. So it says we don't have anything, but what I want to go and look for this business. You see, it says what? We did cover this on this video for access pins. Please watch this video, but we didn't do a live demo. I'm trying to do a live demo, but I cannot mirror it. But wait until I get to Xamarin series, because I'm going to use my laptop to do so. So it says you need to generate a new access pin below to authenticate yourself in order to listen or leave. In this case, we're going to leave the customer voice messages. So we need to choose for which business. So I need to choose from a list, Karishola Papers. And then this is what we need. Okay, let's generate. There we go. It succeeded. It says succeeded. You have generated access pin, and this is the access pin. So that's what we need. Right. So I'm going to type it. So business number we know is IGHQ. And then it's NJ T 6Y1. So I typed it and I'm authenticating myself. and it became success. And then let me take a screenshot to show you what it does, or where I'm at. After I'm authenticated, I'm sharing OneDrive, fingerprint. So we don't need this guy anymore. Upload. So like I said, I'm using the images. So there's a fourth images. It's about to load. There we go. This image. Let's see. So I am authenticated. Now it says, listen, all voice messages. This is where you find all the voice messages left for you by the customers in regards to the request. So there's nothing, but I'm going to click this button, create. Create. Oh, I cannot do this. Do you know why? I'm using my phone to record. Oh no, I'm sorry. But let me show you the screenshot. But let's type in these things. So we said the reference number based on the documents. Oh, this is Frank's dashboard. It's gonna be snap AV9BQ. I can't record right okay, I can't record now, exclamation mark. But let me create a screenshot to show you snap. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because I'm using my phone to record this video, the entire session, and I cannot record while it's still doing this. So how am I going to demo this? Because I don't want to stop it now, but I can stop it now and start. Oh, and then as I edit, okay, but I'm gonna use a different device next time. I forgot to use a different device. So this is me typing AV9B. I had to use capital Q to show that it's case sensitive, and I just typed I can't record now, because once I click this record, it's not gonna do that because I'm still recording, unfortunately. But I want to show this, that it's gonna look for the customer reference number based on what we saw here. Look for that on the uploads. If you find it, skip this if statement and then build up the object entity object, or the object for voice messages, and then you're gonna point to a client. I'm sorry, I cannot do this. I don't want to stop the video and then, well, the voice, and start another recording. But let's do that. Let's do it. I'm gonna stop the recording on the audio and then record that, and then yeah, if it works, it works, but if it doesn't work, yeah, and I'll start another recording. But I'm not gonna stop this recording here. Okay, so let me go and stop it and save it. I'm stopping now. Well, I'm back. I don't know how long it took, but I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so this is the first time this is happening, but let's show with the screenshot that it was success. So share OneDrive, authenticate, upload. So we are waiting for this guy. There we go. And it was success. There we go. It says a new voice message has been created and sent to the customer. There we go. So now let's verify this. Let me go as administrator. You see there are 13 in total, and then once I hit refresh, they're going to be 14. And now they are 14. And then let's look at the most. There we go. I can't record now. There we go. I can't record now. Friday the 3rd of September, 12:57. As you can see, it's 12:59, 2 minutes ago. And it's for this business, and then this upload ID. So now I can get inside. You see, I can't record now. It's meant, do you see the recipient? It's meant for the customer. Let's see that. Wait, this is wrong. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Oh my God. This is what I'm supposed to have been focused on. Oh, I am so sorry. Oh, no. This is the correct thing. Add a single voice message from the client in the system. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So the request is from the client. So let's go and look for that quickly. This one, where we're expecting the caption, audio path, business number, customer reference, but this is from the client to the customer. It's also being validated. And we are still validating caption, business number, and then customer reference number. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. Like, I'm so sorry. And then the first thing we are doing here is that we're going to check if the model state is not valid or not. And then we're going to use the business number, okay, to check if it existed from the business table. If it doesn't exist, just block it. But if it does, skip it. And then we're going to use now the customer reference number, the one we typed in from the uploads table. If it doesn't exist, block it. And then we're going to build this guy. I'm sorry, this is the customer. I am so sorry. And but it worked because data now it's inside our database. Here it is. So for which business? This is the business Karishola papers. And then for this document that has AV9, there we go, for this document. And then lastly, there's the actual recording. If I click, it's supposed to play it. See, try again later, contact server, because I cannot open this guy. Could not be saved because the source file could not be read. But what I can do, wait. So then we're gonna do a video on this document. How does it get to be uploaded? This document. So that's what we're gonna be doing next on uploaded audio. Sorry, the audio. Upload audio. I'm sorry, my English is messed up, but it's fine. We'll talk about this. How does it get there? But I just want to show this. And then the last thing that we need to do now, close this, is to now prove this one. Okay. So now I'm about to prove this one. Here. But I have to be patient here. I'm trying to do something that's unconventional. There we go. So I'm gonna enter that IGHQ, and I'm gonna go to alerts, voice messages. There is one. So this is the first screenshot. Share, OneDrive, authenticating myself, upload. It's coming. There we go. This guy, I wanna move it here. Look at this. There we go. So this is what it used to be. There was nothing, but based on the app ID, now there is something. Customer reference number, this is the guy. The caption, I can't record now. Friday the 3rd of September 2021, 12:57. This is it. It arrived. And if I tap on it, then I can hit play. I'm gonna take the last screenshot. Share, OneDrive, authenticate myself, upload. Wait, it's coming. There we go. And then look at this. Because it says click on the color for voice message, so I clicked here and I can click play, and then it's going to do that. So in a nutshell, this is what I wanted to show and demo. I enjoyed this. It's been chaotic, but it worked. And this is fantastic. So the next video is going to be this video where we're going to look at uploaded audios. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for a lot of things that happened. Maybe the audio right now, it's probably messed up, but I haven't yet edited this video, obviously. But until next time.